Hello and welcome back, everybody. We are now starting up Game 2 between Wisconsin and Carnegie Mellon. In case you missed it, Wisconsin took a very nice Game 1 after having a little bit of struggling in the early game, and they're showing us why they are one of the top seeds in their group for the spring semester. However, it does not mean that CMU is out of it quite yet. They had a strong draft. They had a good plan in mind. They played it well, but they didn't quite manage to secure that finish. So, Game 2 now, it looks like CMU will try to be winning this game to prove that they're not bad, but they're also going to try to rush it, as I believe their drafter said he had to go for a date soon. So, I would not be surprised if they go for another quick early game push strategy.
There's also same bands now, but with the Abaddon band here, and is this? Look at this, right?
Yeah, like CMU banned
they're banning their own Abaddon here.
Yep, CMU banned their own Slardar, and Wisconsin-Madison banned their own Abaddon. So maybe they're just trying to switch it up and saying, we played it so well that we don't want you to think, wow, that was good, I want to play it now. So they're just banning it out preemptively. That's a little bit of confidence there showing up from Wisconsin.
It was last game they banned Centaur, I believe, and now they're going to pick it.
Well, yeah, now it looks like Centaur picked up from the side of Wisconsin. That's a very meta offlaner. It's come out of nowhere pretty recently, and now it's been, one of the first phase pick band heroes. And from the side of CMU, there's a Timbersaw Juggernaut 1-2 pickup. Unlike last game where they went for the supports and 2, 3, 4, or 5 roles for both teams, now they're just going right in for the 1, 2, 3s on both teams. Juggernaut, once again, it can be the 1 or the 2. Timbersaw can be the 2 or the 3. Heck, it could even be the 1, depending on how they want to play this. And it seems like for Madison, it's a little bit more straightforward. Centaur is almost always the 3, and Odie is almost always the 2. However, Odie could play that carry role in the 1 spot. And then bans coming out. They banned Slark on the side of CMU. They're afraid of Slark with the Timbersaw and Jug. Slark does well against both, and they banned the Coddle for a similar reason. You don't want that Timbersaw to get mana leaked and just stuck in lane. And then the side of Madison, they banned the Nyx. Very typical ban against an OD because you don't want to deal with that mana drain. And then they banned SF. I'm not really sure as to why they do that, because I don't think SF necessarily wins that mid matchup, but it could be just because they're afraid of, some minus armor strat, having the Venge still in the pool, having Dazzle and all these other minus heroes still in the pool. Minus armor heroes.
OD being a response to the Timbersaw right away, I think this is a really pretty good matchup head-to-head with Timbersaw.
Yeah, you can just keep
does a lot of damage to him and also drains his mana.
Yep.
You don't really care about his reactive armor.
Do you think it'll be a safe lane OD then in that case? Because it looks like it'll be an off-lane Timbersaw, almost for sure. When you ban the Coddle against the Timbersaw, typically it's because you want to lane the Timbersaw in the off-lane and you don't want that support to zone you out.
Might be safe lane OD.
Yeah. It could be. You still typically see it most of the time in mid, so I'm still going to hold off and say that it's most likely the mid, but they surprised me last game. They might do it again. And now the Pudge pick for CMU, followed up by an Invoker pick. So it's going to be an Invoker mid, a safe lane Jug, and an off lane Timber, almost guaranteed. Yes, we've seen things swapped up in CSL. On Tuesday, we saw the off lane Invoker, which was just kind of baffling to us, but they won with it. But I'm convinced that it'll be traditional lanes from CMU with that Invoker mid, Juggernaut safe lane, Timber off lane. And then the the Disruptor pickup for Wisconsin. That will be the support. OD should be... I still think OD is the 2. OD does do fairly well against Invoker. And then Centaur being in the off lane against that Juggernaut.
Alright, they're actually drafting very fast.
Yep, they want to go. They use 0 reserve time on the side of CMU.
Wisconsin are going to use a bit of theirs, deciding whether they want to pick up their second support or show their other core here. I mean, they already see all 3 cores on the side of CMU, and saving another support pick for last isn't too bad, because they don't know what support is on the side of CMU, whether they're going to go over some type of roam strategy with the Pudge or not.
Yeah. Something that also is kind of curious to me, considering how fast they're drafting and the fact that they said they would like to go soon, CMU picked heroes that don't necessarily end the game fast. Timbersaw and Jug both have that early tempo in mind. Timbersaw, who's snowballing at 10 minutes, is just next to unkillable. And same with Jug in early game. Strong Jug is very strong with those pushes, but Invoker does not necessarily fit that. Typically on Invoker, you'll see him go a Midas, and then you'll see him farm, you'll see him get an Ags, and then it'll be, 15, 20 minutes in that they start getting their items and start wanting to do stuff. And that doesn't necessarily fit that early 5 to 15 minute timing for Timbersaw and Jug.
Alright, so Weaver.
Is that a 4 Weaver or a 1? What do you think? I think it's a 4.
I think it's a 4 Weaver here.
Because a carry Weaver against a Timbersaw, you can't win that lane.
Like, he actually can do nothing to Timber, so I don't think it's...
The bugs are nice, though. The bugs do give Timber the reactive armor, but they also take away an armor every time they tick, so it kind of counteracts that, and it'll just, compile. So if Timber doesn't really focus on those bugs too early because there's other things to worry about, it will kind of negate it, so to speak, and it will be okay. I'm still believing it's a support Weaver though, and they're gonna go for a right-clicking carry here that beats Timbersaw, maybe like an Ursa, or maybe what else? Let's see, maybe a Venge carry, to be honest.
I think CMU realized that as well. They banned AM here.
Yeah, AM does well against both Invoker and Timbersaw. Just burn all your mana and then use them as little bombs in the center of the other team.
That's how they lost last game. It was just Jugs pushing them. That was where they lost the big advantage they had in the early game, where they had really no way to deal with Jugs split pushing. And then when it came to even later in the game, they were having to deal against an Abaddon as well as a Viper.
All right, well, looks like
Tusk.
nothing we expected happened here. That is a carry Weaver. That will be a 4-position Tusk, and that's going to be a jungle Bloodseeker on CMU, I guess. I guess it does okay against Weaver. It does okay against, I guess, any of the heroes, because if they try to Centaur ult away and you get ruptured, you can't. So it has that like secondary effect to it, but I think CMU is just going full Devi here. They want to get this timing at 10 minutes with that Bloodseeker jungle, just once he gets his level 6 up, and they're just going to run at them. And using Invoker to just farm up and use Sunstrikes to secure the kills on a ruptured target. You can't run away, and if you stand still, you get Sunstrike. So their aggression should be just super, super high in the early game with a jungle Bloodseeker and a 5-position Pudge, maybe?
I mean, they outscale, I believe. The Weaver... If the Weaver gets fat, he can actually just own all these heroes. It's gonna be up to the Invoker, actually, to carry them into the game. What is he? He has a drums queued up? What's going on?
This Invoker? He does have a drums queued up immediately. So he is not going for this farming-oriented build that I was predicting on the typical Midas rush. They're really just doubling down on this early game. I'm getting a shout-out from Yumi XD. Well, let's do some intros. Speaking of Yumi, he is playing the off lane for the side of CMU on the Timbersaw. We have the jungling Bloodseeker played by Blank, who was the Shadow Demon last game. They have the mid Rocks Invoker, safe lane Soul on the Jug, and roaming Pudge on Public Player. Public Player was actually their mid player last game on the Necrophos, so they're switching up roles for quite a few of these players now, and they're just kind of having fun with it. Meanwhile,
they have Pudge Bloodseeker, right? That's something. If you get the Rupture and the Hook, it's dead hero.
If you stand still, you'll get Rupture Hook. If you stand still, you'll just get Sunstruck. So, silly strategies coming out of CMU. On the side of Wisconsin, before the game gets underway, we have Strelok on the offlane Centaur. We have Little Light playing the mid OD. Chemcat playing the support Disruptor, Mendingo on the roaming support Tusk, and MW on the carry Weaver. Alright, so this safe lane Weaver against the Timbersaw, it doesn't necessarily go super in favor of Weaver, but with the extra harass coming out of the magic damage from Disruptor, the minus armor from this start game Blightstone, and the Swarm, which I assume he'll get to help deal with the reactive armor from Timbersaw, it won't be that bad. It won't be great, but they won't just auto lose this lane, I believe.
Look at this Bloodseeker. He's choke point jungling the 7.0 way. You don't usually see this because this camp usually you don't really need to do this. With Centaurs, it's just worth it.
Well, this is something new for the CSL. I don't think I've seen the jungle Bloodseeker in quite a while.
I did this once in this patch. Look, he's actually
hiding from the Tusk. This is wonderful.
This is such a good place to jungle. Look.
Alright, so meanwhile, in this mid lane, it's going to be pretty even. Both of the players just kind of forcing each other to miss CS, miss denies. And it's pretty even so far. In this bottom lane, Timber isn't really getting harassed down at all, but he's also not really getting last hits or XP.
Punch not getting a D ward off.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
he's
now
gonna
there's
actually place the sentry to make sure that Bloodseeker's camps aren't blocked.
This is an interesting strategy from the side of CMU, and if it works, this will be a new meta for CSL. And now in this offlane, however, they recognize that they have a support Pudge and a jungling Bloodseeker, so Wisconsin is taking advantage of that, and they're sending 2 heroes against this solo Juggernaut. And it doesn't matter how sustainable Juggernaut in the lane is, you can't trade right clicks with these 2 tanky strength heroes.
Odie imprisons the Invoker, but he tanks like 3 tower shots almost for it. He has a salve though.
Yeah.
But I think this Invoker is doing fine considering he didn't get a salve himself.
Considering he didn't get a salve and he has a jungling Bloodseeker and a roaming Pudge, this lane is going about as well as you could have hoped.
He didn't go no talisman either.
Yeah, I know, now he switched back to the Hand of Midas, so he did
Yeah.
change his build up.
He didn't decide to go for the drums.
And now Bloodseeker is just avoiding this Tusk at all costs. Tusk did get level 2.5 and did spot out the Bloodseeker, but Bloodseeker doesn't even care. He's just standing there farming away anyway. And Dingo is just laughing his butt off, just standing at the rune, thanking Bloodseeker for some free XP. Meanwhile, in this top lane, it looks like there will be a spin onto the Juggernaut. Strelok will get really low, but the missed stun from Centaur will secure the escape from Juggernaut.
Bloodseeker is jungling the entirety of the jungle.
I mean, look at his CS.
So greedy.
He's the top of the CS. If you
His
look at net worth,
He's gonna stab from the lane.
He is tied with the 2 safe laners for top net worth as well. So the jungle Bloodseeker is no joke if it's uncontested.
Pudge might be in trouble here. I think he's fine actually.
No,
never mind.
Snowball
Centaur's
stun
up.
combo. It's a classic, and they will get first blood for the way of Strelok in this offlane.
I don't know. They got a Bloodseeker, but I think Tusk. You have this combo, but he's a pretty bad hero, honestly.
And also, if you look at the jungle now, they have Timbersaw jungling. He didn't decide to stay in the lane. He has a Iron Talon brought out to him by a courier, and he's just jungling up. And the XP will be stolen by Disruptor too, so this might be a kill onto Yumi. He did put the Static Storm onto the creep to try to get the last hit instead of onto the hero. And
What
now
actually
just...
stopped him from laning here, though?
Yep.
Think
And now Chemcat looks like he's in between a rock and a hard place. He will glimpse back the Timbersaw and try to run away from the Pudge, but the Pudge rot with the Sunstrike coming out, it will be dodged, but it'll still be a kill nonetheless for the Pudge. So 1 for 1 so far. They did get first blood on the way of Wisconsin, but they're against a jungle Bloodseeker, now a jungle Timbersaw as well, who might try to go back to lane, but he's pretty low on health. With that shrine, they're probably just going to shrine up and keep going.
Tusk with the Invis finds a yank onto Invoker.
Yep. A good snowball, a good ice shards to keep Invoker from running away, and that will be a kill for the SOD mid, who is now in favor in this mid lane by 600 net worth.
I think this jungle Bloodseeker might pay off.
Now the question for you: does he go the Dagon build? Does he go the Radiance build? Does he go the right click build? The Sunstrike
I
will
don't know,
be off the
my
market.
jungle Bloodseeker build is Force Staff Aghanims.
They
Will he
will
go that-
actually get a kill onto OD here. He tries to TP out, but with the vision from Thirst and the cold snap available on Invoker, he will go down at the end of the day. I don't know, maybe it's just me being a little bit of a meme-loving guy here, but I really want to see the Dagon Rush on this Bloodseeker. He's against really low health cores. And actually,
He's got solo kill top.
yeah, as I was saying that, I was watching the Bloodseeker jungle for a second, but this Centaur just stomps and double edges him. Gets the
Yeah, I
kill
caught
on
it
it.
at the very edge of my camera. I was like, hello there, Chug.
But,
He was been aggressively. He was like, oh, let's try to do some harass to Centaur, and just gets level 3 double edge to the face.
Alright. If this Bloodseeker goes a Dagon, I'll actually be so happy. Because look at the cores on the other team. They have an OD who isn't particularly tanky, like high health pool, and they're against a Carry Weaver who isn't a particularly high health pool.
I was saying he needs the Axe. He just ults.
That was a really good play by Jug there. He ults and then he gets that last right click, and even though the ice shards were there, incredible plays there from both teams. That was a very good ice shard from Tusk. It just barely didn't work, but if there was about a quarter of a second more for Centaur to get the distance, that ice shard would have saved them.
Oh, there's a gank coming from the Bloodseeker, and OD's not gonna TP. He's gonna try to run away. What's going on?
Yeah, he's not gonna get away though. Oh, maybe he will. There's actually a snowball coming in, and a Centaur comes in for the stomp. They will get both return kills there, so an incredible play from the support and offlaner of the side of Wisconsin. And I think he got away with like 1 health there. This OD, he ran just until he couldn't, and then
literally like 10 HP or something.
Unfortunate for Bloodseeker too, because he lost a bunch of money off of that death. He does end up going back and buying phase boots. It looks like he might go for that right-click build at the end of the day. And now he's just going to try to be a nuisance in the lanes, using his Rupture whenever it's available. Looks like Chemcat will go down there.
There's no point in Blood Rage, or Blood Right.
Yeah, I mean, at the early game, it's not really that important of a skill.
I don't know, I think silencing Odie is pretty important. I mean, I guess he can
Pudge
just
doesn't have mana to hook.
right beforehand. Oh.
A great shards in the mid lane. Blocks Invoker's escape through the river, and then Pudge on the high ground didn't have mana to hook him up, so Odie just kind of walks in and secures the last hit with a right click. And now, you know, despite this jungle Bloodseeker like being very farmed, these fights aren't going that well. They lost Invoker now in the mid lane right after losing both Invoker and Bloodseeker in that last attempt. And all the while, this Weaver is basically completely free farm.
And Invoker's gonna have such a late Midas. And Tusk is level 6 already.
Mm-hmm. And in top lane, the Centaur, I'd say, is winning against the Juggernaut, considering these solo kills have happened. This is looking grim for the side of CMU. If this Bloodseeker and Pudge dual support jungling combo doesn't pay off soon, it'll be a tough spot for him to come back. Hook, hook, hook! The hook comes out at the last second. They will get the kill on Dodie, who tries to TP away under tower.
Right,
in this bottom lane,
are working out.
In this bottom lane, it looks like they're going to be wanting to kill Timbersaw here. They have the Tusk sitting in the trees, but I think he may have been scouted out by the creeps, and he's going to just back off after that harass.
Our Bloodseeker is building Yules.
Yeah, I'm not convinced this is going to be enough to bring him back into it. It'll cancel TPs, yes, but they might lack damage considering how poorly their other lanes are going. Having that jungle Bloodseeker really hinders your laning phase for every other lane. And considering he went mid and died, it even further amplifies that. Sick in the bottom lane.
I'm just surprised this Timber is this far behind against Weaver Disruptor. What?
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, he did jungle a little bit too early. I think he could have managed to maintain the lane, but against the Weaver who has the minus
-4 and he's just fine, right?
Yeah, probably. But with that, they'll get the they'll get the kill behind the tower onto the Timbersaw, who didn't have very much mana left, and then they're going to be pushing this tower now with this Weaver and Blightstone.
And Invoker's not going to get his Midas until like 12 minutes or something, because he can't even lane mid against OD alone.
Mm-hmm. OD having that big advantage in with those like few fights. He now has level 8, which is one of the big power spikes for OD, being able to use your Astral and Arcane Orb without worrying about mana.
And he missed every Sunstrike kill so far as well.
I think he got one, maybe. No, he's 0-3. Yeah, no, he's 0-3. You're right, he didn't.
I don't think he missed every Sunstrike, but he missed the kills for sure.
Right.
And Centaur's almost gonna have his Blink. He's so farmed.
He has a hood as well.
Hood.
Trinkle's Hood, he'll get a blink in a couple minutes. He's going to go defend this tower here. Now Juggernaut using the spin aggressively once again might be in a very scary spot, but he'll just back off and Centaur won't pursue any further.
I think Pudge and Bloodseeker are gonna go for another gank here.
Mm-hmm. They might just go try to save that Timber instead. The Sunstrike does hit
Finally!
barely on the edge, and they will.
He's gonna have his Midas. Thank God he got that one.
Yep.
He's like, nice. He's so happy right now.
But still, what's the win condition here for CMU? They have a jungle Bloodseeker and a support Pudge. They really need to get like this snowball up and running soon. They need these ganks to work, and they need towers.
They have pretty incredible scaling, and Tusk is kind of a crappy hero. Disruptor is not has his level 6 yet either.
Mm-hmm. Look at bottom. Weaver did get ruptured up. He will get hooked out of the TP, so he's just gonna go down. Goes
like,
a little bit.
That's gonna happen to Weaver all game.
Yep. And even if Pudge isn't there in the future, having this oh, I take that back. He is not going for the Yules anymore. He is going back for a Radiance. Another, not an awful item choice, but not necessarily the best. There will be a attempted kill here onto the Invoker with that Static Shock or Thunder Strike on him. He might tick down your Nova. He has 30 health. He gets away from that Sentry Ward and he lives. The Tusk Shards actually will be on the mark and will get that kill onto the Invoker. But here's the rest of the team coming in for the side of CMU, and now they instantly have to run away because they are all low on mana and health. The Shards once again mispathing for the Timber, but he'll just get hooked up and saved.
Yeah, I don't know about this Radiance.
The item isn't awful, but
like he can't take. Like the thing is, I theory crafted Bloodseeker support so many times, and sure you can also just jungle him and play a core, but you're eating up farm on your other carries or core heroes.
Jug who can jungle pretty quickly.
You actually scale very awfully as a right clicker, unless you get really farmed.
Yeah,
it doesn't work out. Maybe in pubs, but not in an organized game for sure.
Jug is running away from these two heroes top. He sniffs out the danger and gets away. But look at the side of CMU. They're just all 4 heroes right here. They're not in the lanes. They have the Invoker farming mid, but top and bottom are just completely free for the side of Wisconsin cores.
Like Bloodseeker is actually so effective with Aghanims and
Dagon.
Alright, maybe Dagon, but like if you get really farmed, but if you get Aghanims and a lot of your level 2 rupture early, you just hold 2 heroes in a fight, and it pretty much means that they can't do anything, and this is what's gonna happen to Weaver all game.
Once again, he goes for that tower bottom. He gets it low. It actually gets denied on him afterwards, but he just tries to ult and TP away, and the damage is there. Even though they didn't have a TP cancel, Weaver's sitting at only like 800 health. And the burst from Timber having the Blood Rage amp from Bloodseeker is pretty significant. Seems like OD will be hooked pretty deep under the tower here. Tusk will be there for the return, and OD will just imprison and hopefully get that kill onto the Pudge. Pudge will survive here now.
Midas here.
And yeah, now OD is running away. He doesn't have his TP for a few more seconds. He'll hide behind the thing and TP, and he will get away. So both these mid players going for Midas, but I think that still favors the OD just because their other lanes are winning so well, and he'll keep ahead and farm with that Midas. It's a pretty big deal here. Now Jug's running in at the Centaur. Centaur will just blink away into the creep wave, so you can't really ult that on Juggernaut. And the spin being used aggressively once again.
Centaur gonna die here.
Yeah.
Omni.
Oh, the Sunstrike just barely get in there in time. The Omnis and the Sunstrike just, he had, 1,300 health? So there's a lot to burn through.
Jug might die here.
Yeah, Jug not having spin, he'll get glimpsed back without being able to cancel right into a Static Storm and Kinetic Field, and the right click Tinker. Or from Weaver, not Tinker. We'll secure that last hit.
This raid is either going to pay off huge time or it's going to lose the game.
How close is he? He's 1,000 gold away. He'll get it at like 17 minutes.
Which one do you think it is?
He's not particularly tanky though, but it will do a lot of damage.
It does a lot of damage. He also can farm a lot faster, but this Invoker needs to farm. It's
I
pretty
think
poor at this point.
it'll work if they group
Actually,
up.
no,
as
Invoker
four.
is actually pretty good.
Yeah,
terms
it'll
of
work
farm.
if they group up as 4. Immediately let Invoker just be by his own and Sunstrike when needed, but... Ooh, a good hook there onto the OD from public player. There won't be a Sunstrike follow-up, and now the Tusk snowballing in. It goes pretty deep, tries to get the return kill onto the Invoker, and does manage to secure it. And now top tower and bottom tower going down. Looks like mid will go down for Pudge thanks to the Centaur ult to get them in. And now Juggernaut is a little bit rough. They will have the blank instead. Juggernaut is chasing for more, but it doesn't look like he'll manage to get it. The blink stun from Centaur will be off the mark because of the pathing from the ice shards, but it doesn't look like Juggernaut will get away here. And now I am a believer that Radiance will not save them anymore.
Yeah, I believe Radiance is not the item here. He is a sacred relic.
Alright. So what does CMU have to do now that they are very far behind? The top 3 net worths are in favor of Wisconsin, and now 2 towers have gone down. And Sunstrike here will just barely miss a kill onto OD. He has like 20 health left. Unfortunate that
And
didn't get the
Invoker went
kill.
boots of travel as well. What's going on here?
It's a sign of desperation, I believe. They're going for something big and bold to try to win the game.
And
Invoker could just kind of split push by himself and bots into a 4-man fight with this Radiance Bloodseeker starting it off. He is still 700 gold away, so that death did slow him down by quite a bit.
smoking without the Radiance, and they'll find a kill.
He'll be blown up pretty quickly. It looks like that will be a tier 1 tower converted because they have 5 heroes of CMU here. And this is kind of what CMU needs to do. They just need to force this game.
And they actually scale really well. Blood
They
Rage
do
onto
scale well.
targets.
But
They
at the
do
same
so
time,
much
they are very
damage.
far behind.
Like, even Blood Raging the Invoker before he casts his spells, like, he stays back anyway. Like, you don't really care that he's taking the extra damage, or at least you shouldn't. Like, eating that Blood Raged Meteor, and he can Blood Rage another target as well, with the Blood Rage maxed out. That's so scary to push into. He's not designed to max it out at this point, but... Yeah,
So I definitely think CMU has a chance, but it's grim. They need to make something happen in the next 10 minutes, like something big happen in order to stay into this game. Otherwise, I think OD, like this is one of OD's peak timings, is this like early mid game phase. And Weaver also as a carry is very strong here if he goes this Desolator, which it looks like he'll get in another minute or two. Wisconsin also is not they're not pushovers at this point in the game. Their heroes might be a little bit squishy, but they deal a lot of damage if given the opportunity. Now it looks like a blink stun from Tusk onto the Invoker, and then a Centaur stun to follow it up.
Yeah, the problem is Invoker right now. If he doesn't come online, you're gonna have a problem. They really need him to carry them into the late game.
Now it looks like that Lincolns will save him from the rupture this time. They will have to keep that in mind for the future as a way to cancel the Lincolns. And looks like Weaver will just get away. The tower will get denied, so that's a second tower deny for Bloodseeker at the very least. But
oh, he's just gonna get caught now.
Look at this. His Radiance burned down is dealing a bunch of damage.
They're not hooking him out.
He's gonna go down here most likely. Looks like the ult won't actually connect onto the Weaver because he'll just ultimate away, and that will so far just be a 1-for-0. Tusk blinking in and stunning the Timbersaw onto the back line with OD's right clicks. It looks like he will go down. Centaur there to secure the kill. Static
Jug
Storm
is in? What's going
barely misses, but yeah, Jug will just run out of the static.
What's going
Ice Shards once again. Oh, it doesn't block the path off entirely, but he has no spin. He doesn't have mana, and
he got the hook.
Yeah. This is a 2-prong fight right now. Juggernaut did get glimpsed back, and he will get killed. Public player
Invoker doesn't have mana to do anything. He's dead.
Now that's 5 for 1. No, 5 for 0. They got away, yeah. All right, I think this is definitely Wisconsin's game right now.
It's pretty cool. Your Bloodseeker has Radiance, but I don't think Wisconsin cares.
He's going in.
Bloodseeker
is making a play right now. He's trying to 1v5. He's gonna get triple snowballed and just turned around upon.
Weaver has a Desolator.
Yep. And now I think Wisconsin is at one of their big peaks. Though they don't scale, like you said, against the multiple cores from the side of CMU, if they just take over the game before those cores can scale, they will have nothing to worry about. Having the Desolator and 20 gold.
His Ags, almost. Invoker's rushing a straight Hex. What's going on?
You know, I've starting to not question these item builds anymore from the side of CMU. It seems like they're just playing this for fun at this point. They might have resigned themselves. I'm not entirely convinced yet, though. But having the Radiance Rush, having this Sheepstick Rush now from Invoker, it's really just a sign of all-in. You know, they want something big to happen in these fights. They aren't going to risk going for these mid-game items and just getting out fought because of the enemy team's mid-game fight is pretty strong as well.
Maybe
Looks like there will be a kill on the Jug.
Than OD.
Yeah. And now Centaur will use an ult and a blink in. They will get the kill onto the Pudge as well, most likely. They actually changed targets here, and Pudge, no, he'll still go down at the end of the day. Now it's 3 dead, Bloodseeker going down on the side. Invoker going in will get a return kill onto the Chemcat Disruptor. And a Tornado onto 3 here will do a little bit of harass, but that's 4 dead now, and they're looking for more. This Invoker not having very much mana, not having a blink, and will barely get away thanks to that Wex movement speed bonus.
He is 1 in cost.
Yeah, he's going a very interesting Wex Exort build.
I've actually seen this before in a pro game. It was actually really awful, but he still won.
I mean, I guess Alacrity is pretty nice.
It makes your Alacrity really strong, but you have no regen.
Alright, here's the return chase. Yuumi goes in deep, but will instantly get blown up by the Centaur, by the Weaver, by the OD. The Centaur does seem like he's going to be taken down here, but... No, he'll get saved by OD right when he uses
no
the
mana
Centaur
for
ult.
Omni! Bloodseeker's in. He ults the Lincolns again.
And it looks like that will be 1 kill so far, but look how fast this Bloodseeker dies in 2 hits from the Weaver and then 1 hit from the OD. He will go down. It's a triple kill now for OD. And this game is snowballing very quickly out of control. It's
He
13k.
can't blood rage himself like that.
Yeah, 13k net worth and like 18k XP. 4 staff in and an ultimate used by this OD. He is ultra killed right now. He's gonna look for this rampage. He wants it, and once he pops out, he won't actually get the kill. Oh, both of them being taken by that Weaver. So no rampage for the poor OD. I think he still has 1 or 2 seconds here, but it's gonna be they're probably just gonna get back here and be content with what they got.
Pinging the Weaver so hard.
The glimpse from the glimpse onto the Bloodseeker just stops that engagement. The hook and Tornado will just narrowly miss that OD there. And was that buybacks used on the Invoker and the Bloodseeker? So once again, just it's still falling more and more in favor of Wisconsin here.
Right. Cool Radiance here. Point that out.
Peter, when you watch this in the future, know that I love you. But this Radiance, it did not seem to pay off at the end. Alright. So what do they do
Don't
here?
bite him if you get a kill, or like you like wipe them right afterwards, and then you just farm as well. But what happened is he got Radiance and then just died.
So let's try to be optimistic here for the side of CMU, because this game is not over yet. We've seen games be thrown.
Like, they actually can hold high ground pretty well if they like land a hook and or Invoker cast his spells.
That's one big thing about the Pudge. Pushing into a Pudge on high ground, if you just sit back by those tier 4s and you get a hook from a little bit of an aggressive positioning from the pushing team, you can instantly turn a fight, because having 4 towers or 3 towers hit somebody is no laughing matter. It looks like a fight here will break out. Bloodseeker and Pudge being the first to drop, and now Timbersaw has to run away. He will get glimpsed right back in, and now Weaver will be going in deep for this Invoker.
They
the
can't
Juggernaut
win
ult will come
fights
out,
like
but they
that
don't manage to get the kill.
into Wisconsin. Looks like Jug's gonna die here.
Oh, the Weaver at the very last second. Jug tried to get that kill there, and he was baited in by the Weaver. Now that's going to be another 5-for-0 wipe. I think Disruptor also... No, Disruptor didn't go down, so yeah, that's a 5-for-0 wipe. Once again, going the way of Wisconsin.
they have no chance fighting into them like that. So they need to defend high ground, or at least they need the vision over Wisconsin so they can land a hook or something. They need to just blow up someone right away with like the Sunstrike afterwards. It definitely can do it, but now with OD with a blink, you can just blink in prison to save as well on any target. Like their problem right now is like there's the snowball to save as well as in prison, and they can't kill anyone. Like they're maybe taking them down low, but they're not dying. They have the Centaur Ags as well.
Alright, so it looks like Wisconsin is going to just try to take this nice and slow. They're going to probably go for a Roshan before they push high ground, and then just after another good fight like that, they'll win.
Like if this was a pub, I would see a Dire winning this. You know, like I would just tell my enemy team to end, and then Pudge would just hook, and then we would win a 5-man wipe somehow. And then
this is an unexpected push with Pudge saving the day here. If they do win this game, I think it is on Pudge though. Pudge has to make a play here. And it looks like Timbersaw is going a little bit deep here. He will be blink stunned by two heroes now. The hook will be blocked by Centaur, and now Yuumi is going to be looks like he'll be okay. Centaur ult won't necessarily help anyone get there to kill him.
Like Bloodseeker actually can't Blood Rage himself. He'll just die. Like his best bet is just to Blood Rage Invoker and buff up his spells. Like having that Blood Rage Sunstrike is pretty big.
Yep. However, he will get glimpsed back, and he'll get killed by 5 heroes.
Stand in the front line anyway, so he doesn't really care.
Oh, the ult from Tusk does manage to stop the Timber Chain there, and with a Centaur follow-up stun, it will be just barely on the mark. The hook will miss because it'll be blocked by Invoker. Now,
Invoker.
That is 2 dead, no buyback. Wave is pushed in right here. However, Juggernaut did take tier 1 top at the very least. He's
one Bloodstone charge Timbersaw.
Is it? Ooh. It is 1 Bloodstone charge left.
Oh, there's
here onto the Weaver. This is what I'm talking about. The
Sunstrike Miracle. Oh.
No, he ulted out immediately. That tornado, because he only has 1.
Oh, it's only 1 in Quasi. He can't even hit Sunstrike.
Yep, the tornado doesn't last.
It can't combo. Even if it did combo, is it possible, or does Weaver ult out too fast?
I mean, it's 1.7 seconds for the Sunstrike to happen, and right now the tornado lift is only
let's see if he did have
0.8.
4 in Quasi or whatever.
Oh, I think you could hit it at the correct time. Because there is the cast animation on Weaver's ult.
Check it real quick. Yeah, I think it is possible to hit it.
Alright, so an okay hold there out of CMU. They didn't quite get the kill on the Weaver, but they definitely make Wisconsin second guess that push. They are going to go back for Roshan. They figure if they give Aegis to their sieging hero, they don't even care about that hook anymore, because if that hero dies, they'll have the opportunity to disengage.
You need 4 in Quas for it to combo.
Yeah. And Centaur with the Ag Scepter, actually, it kind of just stops that opportunity from CMU. Even if you get hooked in, even if you're ruptured when you're hooked in, with Centaur ult up, that's a 60% damage reduction on every hero, so you should be able to survive that burst.
There's this smoking here. They ult another Lincolns. Oops.
Yep. This is the desperation play. There will be a Jug ult onto 4 here. He will bounce back onto the creeps, and now Centaur ult will try to get him away. The hook does land onto the OD, who is a little bit deep. Disruptor ult hits onto 4, but they all run away from it. And now it looks like that's just going to be a turnaround wipe. They do get the Disruptor, but that's 3 down already. They look like they're trying to get a little bit more, but since buybacks are up...
Think forward there.
GG, yo. Okay, that's the GG call from the Bloodseeker. They gave it their last desperation push there, and that will be the end of it. A 2-0 for the Way of Wisconsin.
You saw the sick Bloodseeker plays.
Alright. So I think
he did work for his team, but he did make his Invoker lose mid pretty hard.
I think that draft was definitely a desperation draft going on. It was probably a fun game for them. They enjoyed it, but at the end of the day, Wisconsin, the higher seeded team, does secure a win, and that will be them, I think, in 2nd seed for the bracket playoffs coming up soon.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching Bloodseeker, dude. I think that hero has potential.
Oh yeah, for sure. As far as MVP, I think I have to give it to Mandingo without a doubt here. he just played so well. He got the blink initiations when he needed. He got the ice shards in the early game and mid game, just stopping the retreats. He was where he needed to be when he needed to be. Stopping that first gank from Bloodseeker with the snowball also just incredibly impactful, because stopping that Bloodseeker right when you hit your first timing is a very big deal. So Mandingo, once again, I believe deserves MVP, banned gaming player of the match.
Yeah, but I'm gonna give it to Tusk. Who plays Tusk anymore? That was
Exactly. It's with an untraditional hero, and he just played it so well. Alright, well, with that, we'll have to say thank you for watching. Once again, I am Zingle, bringing you C-Star League with Hachiko.
See you guys later. They're asking for an interview.
Ben, Sam, and Ken are on separate journeys to defeat the menacing Vile Dragon. But let's just say luck isn't on their side. If only there was a way for them to find each other and band together. Well, that's why there's Band. It's a mobile app that allows people to come together using common interests. With Band, you can find fellow gamers, chat, schedule gaming sessions, and conduct polls. Stage epic battles with friends while sharing videos and photos along the way. So try Band today. Band. Be together.
Only $14.99.
Don't miss the call. Download Band. Communication made easy.